And I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Alrighty. Does everyone see my screen?
Yes, it's
Yes.
coming up. Yeah.
Okay. And please let me know if we meet the quorum, okay? We just need one more parent. So good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. This is our March 31st meeting. Our agenda today is welcome everyone. We're gonna try to approve our February meeting minutes. But if we do not meet the quorum, we're gonna table the meeting minutes for our next meeting. So we're gonna skip this for now. We'll come back to it. And then we're gonna go over the superintendent's report. Luis Lotito is here to teach us on how to do Google Forms. And then I will give some CityPac updates to everyone. We will go over the NYC school survey, which is one of the CityPac updates, and we will mention share some upcoming meetings and open the floors for questions. Oh, I was like, yes, I saw someone coming in, but it's our deputy. All right, so our meeting norms. So usually Crystal is the one going over meeting norms, but Crystal couldn't be here today, unfortunately. So we start and end on time. One voice when speaking. This is a safe space to speak. 1, 2, 3, and then me. If you spoke already, allow other people to speak before you speak again. We're here to respect everyone. We're here to be present, engaged, and involved. How many parents do we have on the call right now, Louis? Did anyone come in that
No
are
one came in, still the
I still
same.
see four, yeah.
okay? So we're gonna table the minutes for the next month. Since we do not meet quorum, we're gonna skip this part for now. And Dr. Matt will be joining us later. He is stuck in traffic. I know he's rushing. So we're gonna have Louis show us on how to make Google Forms for now. So Louis, I'm gonna stop sharing.
All right. So we're going to go over briefly just how um, parents specifically can use um, Google Forms to collect information. And really, when you're thinking about this process, and you may already know how to do this and use this application, but anything that you would want to have to collect and organize is a great way that you can use Google Forms, and it can be beyond just contact information for families. For example, one thing that I was thinking about when preparing for this presentation was about how the DPAC supports the principal with deciding how to spend the 1% set aside. And there are different vendors that you might use that you might be able to spend that money on. And maybe a Google form is a good way of surveying the families in the school around which of the vendors from this list they would like you to that they would choose to spend that set aside on. So that's just one thing I was thinking about. And of course, it could be something as simple as organizing a fundraiser or you know, uh, who's going to pick up the kids from soccer? There's a million ways that we can use Google Forms. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my second desktop over here. Go into slideshow mode. So this is a really brief overview of Google Slides, and then after this, we'll go into the application live and we can play around with different questions. I'm basically going to stall as long as I need to for Dr. Mike. Um, so this is just a really quick overview of Google Forms for busy families, whether it be organizing for a class party or sign-ups, you can organize that information really, really quickly. So why should we use Google Forms? I know I already kind of discussed this, but here are some of the big ideas to use Google Forms. First, it's free and it's easy. It's free for the person creating the form, and it's free for someone that's completing the form. There's no apps to download. It works on the web and it works on any device. So it is mobile friendly. It works well on smartphones, which I would say that most families are going to be using a smartphone to complete the form. but it also works great on a desktop computer, laptop computer, tablet, all that stuff. It automates everything for you. There's no more manually counting how many people selected some option, no tallying up selections. It does a lot of that work for you, helps limit errors, and just makes, you have a lot more time on your hands because you don't have to do all that manually. And most importantly, it is secure. All of the data is encrypted, and we always log in with our New York City Public Schools account because we have um, a protected version of Google Docs for education that we are allowed to use with personal identifying information, PII. So you always want to log into Google with your um, email address, your DOE external email address that was provided by your school. Um, I know I have lots of Google accounts. I have personal accounts. I have my work account. So I always have to make sure I'm logged into the correct account when I'm creating my Google Docs and my forms and stuff like that. So let's quickly just go about how we would get started. So the website to access Google Forms is forms.google.com. And again, you don't have to do anything right now with this. I'm going to go ahead and we'll log in later. And you have a few options to start. You can start with either a blank form, which has no questions, no formatting or anything. You basically start from scratch. Or you can choose from a template. And there are many, many, many templates to select from. And we're going to look at those in a moment. There is a template that when I was looking at it called the party invite. It is probably one of the most frequently used templates by parents, even if it's not for a party, just the way that it's formatted and the way it looks. And we can go ahead and look at that as well. But that is one of the when I was looking online, one of the templates that parents use the most. So let's talk about building the perfect form and collecting the information that you need. What questions will work for you? So the first thing I want to talk about is there are different question types when setting up a Google form. You don't only have to create questions where families have to type in information. Although you can collect short answers or longer answers, such as person's name or email address, someplace where they'll type information. There is also uh, questions such as check boxes, multiple choice, radio button, drop down menus, ranking something from 1 to 4. All these different types of questions exist, and we're going to go and look at some of them in a moment. There's also a really cool little toggle that lets you say which questions are required and which questions. Oh, Cindy Yee is here, which questions are required and which questions someone can skip. So, if there are certain questions that you need answers to, you will want to toggle those questions as required, and so on and so forth. And then sometimes, we'll have a question at the end that says like, oh, additional comments or questions. We would toggle the required off of that one because that might be something that someone doesn't need to respond to. And there are lots of different ways to customize these forms. You can change the color, put images on top. It's a lot of fun. You can really make it very personalized, and unique. Each form can be very unique. So once we've created our form and we have all the different questions that we want, we have to know how to share the form with families. So there's a couple of ways to do it. First is the easiest way is just to get the link to the form. So you would go to share and you would go ahead and copy the link to the form, and you can send that to other parents through WhatsApp groups or on Facebook, however you guys communicate. You can also click the link, the checkbox to make the link shorter, which sometimes makes it easier to send over text messages that have limited characters. And there's also a feature to actually have a collaborator. So this is not someone that can just complete the survey. This is actually someone who can help you with creating the questions, changing the format and the look of the form, and then also seeing the responses. So you might have multiple people on the DPAC or on a PTA, for example, that will have access as a collaborator. who actually can make changes to the form in the background. So those are different ways that we can share. Okay. Then let's talk about how we can get the results. So when we have responses on a form, you can see those responses in a graph, a pie chart to see the percentages of each response. You can also see if it's a text box, what the response was. But you can also go ahead and export or open up the responses into Google Sheets, which basically will look like a spreadsheet with all the responses from all your families. And this is usually what you'll want to get when you're looking at the results from a survey. If you're collecting, let's say, contact information or um, different something that each family is bringing to a fundraiser, you'll have that complete list in a spreadsheet. So there's a summary tab, which we're going to look at, that gives you summaries. Example, 60% said yes, 40% said no. Again, we can open up the sheet that opens up in Google Sheets, all the responses. And there's also a really cool feature where you can turn on email notifications. So this will email you every time someone submits the form so that you can go on and check to see what the response was. Very, very handy. All right, so here are some tips that I came up with when I was preparing for this presentation. First is the feature that that saves the draft of a survey that a parent is completing. So sometimes we get sidetracked. We get distracted by our children or by other people in the house as we're doing something, and we sometimes have to come back to it later. So if you have draft saving turned on, a family's responses will be saved the next time they come to the form to fill it out. And that can be helpful for forms that are a little bit longer in length. And the progress will be saved for 30 days, and families won't lose their work. Um, there's also a toggle to turn off accepting responses so that the form, when you're done collecting information, you can actually shut it off so that when families or anyone goes to the link, it will say this form is no longer accepting responses. And that's good for things that you're doing on a time frame and you don't, after a certain point you're not looking at anymore, you would close those responses. And you always want to make sure that the sharing is set properly when you are sharing the link with families to complete. Sometimes when we use our DOE, our New York City Public Schools accounts, the sharing might be only to let people with other New York City Public Schools accounts complete the survey, and usually that's not what we want. We want to open up to the public. So you're going to want to make sure that all families can access it by making it open to the entire internet, and we'll look at that as well. All right, so these slides are on. Oh, look, I have a little animation here, and it's not in English. These slides are in the Google Drive folder for today's meeting, so you can go ahead later and access them and click these links. There's a quick guide for parents on Google Forms. There's the link to Google Forms, and then there's a link to the support documents from Google, which are very, very in-depth. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing for a second, and I'm going to click on Google Forms. All right, I'm going to start sharing again. Okay, so now we're looking at Google Forms. So this is the website we spoke about, forms.google.com. I'm going to go ahead and first I'm going to show that I am logged in with my personal account. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to my work account. And now I am here in my work account. And what you'll see when you first go to the Google Forms site is you're going to see a whole bunch of the forms that you have created in the past. So these are all of my forms. As you can see, I have a problem. I really like Google Forms. And you can go ahead and open any of those that you'd like. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And on the top, you have an option to start a new form. So you can start a blank form, or you can select from a different template. So the template gallery here under General, these are all the templates available to us that we can choose from. And they just kind of set you up with some questions depending on the type of form you're looking to create. So an event feedback form, for example, if your PTA is having an event and afterwards you want to get feedback, you can go ahead and choose event feedback form, and it kind of has the questions set up for you that you can just customize those questions to match your needs. Customer feedback, event registration, very popular for PTAs and for school groups that are having an event. To collect content information, to RSVP for an event. All those things are here in the template gallery. I'm going to go ahead and open up a form that let's see. So here is a form. Ba-ba-bum. Let's see what I want to use. Oh, let's do the President's Council sign-in. So this is a form that we set up to collect the names of the people that attend each President's Council meeting. President's Council meetings typically take place on the third Monday of every month, and they are virtual meetings via Zoom. So you'll see here that I've customized this form with these really cool polka dots on top, along with this color, this brown color that matches the image on top. You click the palette on the top of the screen and you can go ahead and change the different things such as the image and the different colors and stuff like that. You can do all that right over here. As I go down, you'll see I have lots of different information here. I have the name of the form, and then I have a bunch of different questions. First here is asking what meeting date did you attend, and that is a date question, which is one of the question types. I then have what school you're representing. This is a drop-down menu of all the schools in the district. We have the DBN followed by the school name to help families find their school. We also collect the person's full name, their email address. Again, these are just text boxes where people can type in responses. We then ask what their role is on a PA/PTA, because remember, this is President's Council, so this is a PA/PTA, a meeting of PA/PTA members. So they go ahead and they're gonna choose from this list. They can choose just one option, but I also have an other in case their role is not listed. And then optional information is phone number. This is another text box, but notice that we do not have that required tab here checked off. So this is just how different question types look. And if you notice on the side here, my little control panel, I can go ahead and click plus. I can add different questions. We have multiple choice, check boxes or drop downs, linear scale, and ratings are some of my favorite newer questions that Google added. So, how did you like this meeting? Question mark. And you can choose a scale from either 3 stars to 10 stars. 5 stars is the default. I'm not a fan of 5 because I feel like a lot of people fall into that middle 3 category. So I'm that guy that changed it to 4 stars so that I force you to choose between 2 and 3. Was it better or was it worse? So this is a really cool way to kind of capture this information. Again, you can make it required or not. And on the top here, you have the eye, which lets you preview the form once you're finished or once you're playing around with it. And this is what it looks like. And here's what that question looks like with the stars, which is really cool. I really like it. It looks really cool. Okay. Then once you've collected responses, I'm going to go ahead and leave this. You'll notice on the top we have, the questions tab is where we're actually building our form. And then responses here are answers to each question. So the meeting date, all the different responses, what school are you from? This is what we get. We get like a pie chart here. And if you go around here, you can actually see the different schools and what percentage. Now remember, this form is used every single month, so there's 950 responses. So this is a lot of data to look at. We have everyone's name, we have their email addresses, everything you can read, your PTA role. So you'll notice that most of the people that attend this meeting is either the PTA president or co-president, but we also have lots of other roles as well that attend, but the majority are the president. And we have information here, so it's really good. So that's how we can look at this information in the summary. We can also look at individual questions. So we can just kind of go down this list and we can see individual question responses. And we can look at actual individual, responses. So if I go to, let's say, go to 956, the very last one. This one was done on 316, this last meeting, and Michelle was the person attending from Bell Academy, which is very cool. Okay. And then if we go ahead and go into view in sheets right here, this is what opens up that Google Sheet view that we talked about. And I am logged in with my personal account. Let me go ahead and switch over to that. And it says I don't have access to it. So let me switch over to another account. This account might be owned by somebody else. I have to look at that, but that's how you would look at the sheet, at the sheets view, at the spreadsheet. And then when we go into settings, this is kind of all the settings that we talked about before. So if we go into the form defaults, you'll see here we're collecting an email address and responses. We talked about uh response editing lets people change their responses. This requires them to have a Google account, so typically we keep that off. And then we have, things such as autosave, which I talked about is handy for longer forms. I turned it off for this one. Since families are filling this out every month, I kind of didn't want it to remember last time's responses, so I turned that feature off. And when we go to share it, if I click publish here, you'll see that Um, it's set up for everyone with the link to respond to the survey, so there's no required logins. Anyone with the link can respond. And if I click on copy responder link, this is the link to the survey that I would send to families, and this is the one that actually is posted on the President's Council website. So, when it comes to building a form, it really helps to have a task that you want to complete. It's very easy for someone to come and show you different questions and how to access the data. It's very easy for someone to show you that stuff, but it doesn't become meaningful for you until you say, I have a task that I need to complete using a Google form. So I will invite you guys to, if you do have that task in mind of something that you would want to do with Google Forms, definitely reach out to myself, to Jenny, to Jessica, who you haven't met yet, and we will be more than happy to meet with you one-on-one to kind of go through exactly what you're looking to collect, and we can brainstorm what the questions would look like and stuff like that. So that is my brief overview of Google Forms. Jenny, was that good? You're muted. I know you said amazing. All I saw your lips would say amazing.
You read my lips. Yes.
I did. And I see Dr. Mike. So thank
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Saved by the bell.
It was great.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys. Yeah, like
you.
I said, if there's anything like if you have a task in mind that you want to accomplish and you just need help, we're more than happy to meet. It won't take long to kind of get that information together, and we can go online and we can do it together.
I think the 4 stars thing was pretty
Isn't that the
clever.
best?
Yes, it was
They just
clever.
added that question in. I love it. Actually, let me delete that question because that doesn't belong on that survey. Thank you for reminding me. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you, Louis. So
No
before
problem.
we're gonna give the floor to Dr. Mike, we do meet quorum right now. I see five, schools representing today's meeting. So I'm gonna share my screen again. And this is not what oh, I know I have my meetings up right here. Jamie, I'm gonna give the floor to you so you can read the minutes. I'm gonna make it larger for everyone.
Uh, oh, one call to order and welcome. To approval of January 28, 2026 meeting and minutes. CEC updates. Superintendent's report. Wait. I think it's kind of too fast.
Am I going too fast?
Mm.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
okay,
slow
yeah,
down.
yeah, you're doing good. You're doing good. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm. Vendor presentation. Adjournment.
Okay. Thank you, Jamie. Can we get motion to approve our meeting minutes from February? I know we went through it pretty quick, but it is listed on our District 25's website. If anyone would like to review it.
Approve.
Thank you, Angela. Can we get second approval? The second motion for approval?
I approve.
Thank you, Gladys. I'm gonna stop sharing because Dr. Mike is here, so I'm gonna give the floors to Dr. Mike.
Sure. Thank you, Jenny. Good evening, everyone. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm going to hop right into my short little report, and then we'll be hopping out at around 6 o'clock because I have another meeting that I have to hop into. So I do want to make sure that I'm able to give you guys the most up-to-date space of our work right now as a district team. And of course, this bar is always in my way. Whoops, not that one. Okay, there we go. All righty. All right, so we're going to go through just greetings, welcome. Thank you guys for allowing me to be here to chat with you guys as always. I'll do a couple of celebration updates and reminders, and then a couple of goal updates for you guys as well, particularly around math and our social emotional learning goal at this time. So before we begin, I do want to make an exciting staffing announcement. We're really very pleased to welcome Jessica Villegas to our district team. She's going to be serving as our family support coordinator. It's been a long time coming for our district to have another team member join our Team Awesome group. But we're really excited. She'll be working side by side with Jenny to support all things related to our parents here in the district. So Jessica, I'm not sure if anyone introduced you just yet, but if not, if you want to just pop on just so that everyone has an opportunity to see who you are. I'm going to stop sharing just for a moment.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Jessica Villegas. I am the new family support coordinator, and I'm excited to take on this new role and here to support all families here in the district. Any questions, you could give me a call. Me and Jenny, we're always here to support all you all.
Thank you so much, Jessica. And Jessica has been, right out of a school and supporting kids and parents, and right into the space of serving in this role right away. So we're really pleased to have her join our team, and we'll be there as a support for all of you guys moving forward. So thank you, Jessica, for being here and for assuming this really important role for our district.
Again, congratulations, Jenny and Jessica. Welcome,
Thank you, Angela.
Jessica.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
thank you.
we're gonna bypass the connection before content activity just for today and for sake of time, but just a little fun one. The food debate. Would you prefer a home cooked meal or fancy restaurant? Which one would be your go-to? Just let that one swirl a little bit. If you want to enter it into the chat, that would be great. But we're not going to spend too much time on this one just for tonight. But if you had your choice, would you rather a home cooked meal or fancy restaurant? Please feel free to add it to the chat. So Debate League, we did have our debate competition in February. I don't think that we were able to share this during our last one, looking back at our notes, but it was really a great event. Our elementary schools and middle schools participated. We look forward to having that. Our final championship debate happens in May, but this was really great work, and big shout out to Melinda and Marissa from our team for organizing and making this happen for our schools. Civics Week that occurred a few weeks ago, but I do want to share a very short little playlist with you. This was done by Melinda from our team. We were fortunate that we had two members of our district, Esme and Ethan, make it to the main stage, which is amongst hundreds and hundreds of children that put in their speeches. We had two enter main stage, and one of our students is a finalist, which we're really super excited about, and that is Esme from PS 209. But I did want to quickly share this little highlight reel with you from Melinda and our team.
Good morning, District
Oops, hold on, I have to share with
Welcome
volume.
to
Hold on
Monday's
1
Civics
second.
Week highlights. The first day of Civics Week was amazing. I had the opportunity to visit 3 schools across the district to see civic learning in action. I started my day at PS 184, where 4th grade students launched their Take Action project focused on improving bathroom cleanliness in their school. After collecting data, students shared their findings during morning announcements, highlighting the issues such as paper towels on the floor and toilets not being flushed. The students then created clear bathroom expectations and designed posters to remind students of these rules. Some 4th graders even visited kindergarten and 1st grade classrooms to teach the expectations directly to younger students. Student monitors will help reinforce these routines, and the project will conclude with a recorded public service announcement to help sustain the effort. Next, I visited IS 250, where 7th grade students were analyzing voter turnout data. Students compared voting participation in the United States with other democracies around the world and examined data about who participates in elections. This led to a thoughtful discussion about barriers that may prevent some people from voting, including difficulty understanding candidate platforms, dissatisfaction with candidates, or the belief that one vote does not matter. It was impressive to see students using real data to think critically about civic participation. My day ended at MS 379 College Point Collaborative, where families gathered for a civics and literacy night. Families learned about the civics work students are doing in school and the importance of student voice. The school also celebrated their Project Soapbox speeches and were so excited to hear that 8th grader Ethan will represent both the school and the district at the citywide Soapbox event on March 26th. Families then visited classrooms where they participated in civics trivia and collected copies of Civics for All comics to build their own home libraries. In addition to the schools I visited today, many other schools across the district were also celebrating Civics Week. At Junior High School 185, the school community announced the winning project for their participatory budgeting funds, and classrooms across the school participated in civics read-alouds. Over at PS 129, students celebrated Civics for All Week with activities such as Go Green Day, encouraging students to think about how being responsible stewards of shared spaces connects to civic responsibility.
So I'm going to just stop it right there. You guys get the idea of the types of things that were happening during Civics Week. A really important part of our work as a community, where we're promoting space for our kids to use those voices in productive ways. And
Students also
and it will continue to be a staple of our work moving forward. The more that we provide opportunities for our kids to use those voices, the more productive changes that they'll be able to make inside of our district community as a whole, but really for their own schools too. So we're really excited about, I don't know why this will not let me change the screens here. We're really excited about the direction of this work and want to continue to move it forward as a community. So more to follow on this as we celebrate our kids. And we will certainly give you an update on Esme as she performs at the citywide competition coming up real soon.
And I want to invite everyone to on the slides, there's a link at the bottom. You can get the playlist of all of Melinda's updates from Civics Week, and there's a lot of great stuff in there. That Dr. Mike is go to the left, Dr. Mike.
It's not letting me.
Second tab. Oh, you can't see it?
No, I can't get to it. That's so weird. I don't know. Oh, there it goes.
Okay. Yeah, so that link on the bottom, you can see all of the different updates from Melinda that week. And of course, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.
Yeah, really, really great work that our kids in schools are doing, and encourage you guys to take a look. We were also fortunate. We were selected to participate in an amazing event with the New York, with the Queens Library, and connections to NASA. So students were able to really, in a live way, even though it doesn't look so live, have a conversation with astronauts in outer space. Our students were able to ask their questions directly to astronauts and receive their feedback in real time. So it was really just a great experience, and we thank Queens Library for offering this opportunity to our kids. We also are really, what's happened here is unbelievable, but Liam from PS32 won the citywide spelling bee competition. And I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but he's wearing a specific jersey. And that jersey is from a English Premier League soccer club. And they wound up seeing Liam wearing that jersey, and he's become Insta famous. So their organization actually reached out to him, had a phone conference with he and his dad, and invited him to walk onto the field when they come to the United States for one of their soccer exhibitions. It's turned out to be this huge, huge thing. Aside from that, WNBC's reached out to him. WNYC has reached out to him. It's become a huge thing for Liam. So we're really excited for him, and we're going to be cheering him on as he competes in the national competition in Washington, D.C. in May. So big kudos to Liam and for what he's been able to accomplish, but also for what's coming up ahead of him. And if he does well, you might wind up seeing him on ESPN, moving forward. So we're really cheering him on from a distance and excited for what's happened to him in the PS32 community because of it. So this is something that I'm really proud of. District 25 has been showcased in a publication by the Center for Public Research and Columbia. They've interviewed myself, a number of our district team members and principals and parents and teachers around some of the things that we've been doing to really organize our work as a district to make sure that our kids are becoming the best readers and writers and such as can possibly be here in our district. And I do want to share this with you. You're welcome to go and look at it, but you will find quotes from myself and our district team inside of this publication. And it just kind of calls out the amazing work that our schools are doing every single day for our kids. And even saying that, knowing that we have miles to go, but is really some promising information in there for all of our families to connect with, to see the great practices that are happening. We just held our latest district math family night at JHS 189. Big shout out to Beth and Liz from our team, as well as Dr. Bradley for hosting this event. We had a really, really great turnout. Also like to thank Amplify Math who sponsored our event for this evening, but kids practicing and engaging in games with their families, really doing some of that amazing math work. Lewis there, as always, with his estimation jars. He loves that component where kids get to identify how many of specific candies are in these jars. And then we are fortunate enough to give some amazing things away to our community. So it was a job well done, and big shout out again to 189 for hosting. We had our cheer expo at Townsend Harris. We had cheerleaders from across all of our district schools participated in this event, and I have to tell you, it was really amazing. Our kids were there to show off what they've been learning from their coaches throughout the year, but what impressed me most was that all of the kids that were not cheering were cheering on all of the schools as they performed in front of one another. And it's really heartwarming when you think about a district community that's got 34 schools and two pre-K centers, and to have all of those kids there pulling for one another was just a really amazing thing. The gymnasium at Townsend Harris was packed. We had parents from across our district there. Excited to see what our kids were able to come up with. And one performance after the next was just fantastic. So big shout out to Diana, all of our coaches, and all of our kids for making this a really special day.
I also want to highlight that the event, like all of our athletic events, was live streamed, and as of right now, the Cheer Expo from 5 days ago has had 4,700 views on YouTube, and the volleyball game it happened today, so it has a little less time, 300 views. So the cheer is definitely super popular, and everyone loves it.
Yeah, and one of the kind of amazing parts about this is during the event, one of the kids came up to me, and it's the great part about having these things in high schools is one of the young ladies came up to me and said, "Dr. D'Antona, I'm coming here. This is the school that I'm coming to." And those are the unintended consequences of being able to show kids what an experience could look like in a high school, and in a high school with the notoriety of a Townsend Harris. But for kids to be able to come there, do their thing in front of parents, but to say that, you know what, I want to come here because of that, I think is a really powerful part of the work as well. We were also fortunate today. We were joined by Chancellor Samuels as part of his tour of schools and tours of districts across New York City. He joined us today to speak with our kids, speak with our parents, local elected officials, to learn a little bit about District 25, but also around the needs in our district community. So we thank Chancellor Samuels, and I thank Principal Singh and PS24 for being amazing hosts and showcasing the great work that's happening inside of their schools, from our cheerleaders greeting to them doing a short little skit from Finding Nemo, their Disney show that they'll be showcasing later in May, and also their chorus singing to our chancellor this morning. All great work, and really proud to be part of that, and proud to be able to showcase what District 25 is about for our chancellor. Summarizing, as you guys know, the window has come and gone. The 27th of March was the last day. All of our folks that did submit an application should expect to receive something back in April as to whether or not they've received acceptance into the Summer Rising program. As I've said in the past, if you do receive an acceptance letter, you will be asked to either accept or decline. But we do ask, if you're going to accept, make sure that you do intend to go. We don't want to have any seats unused for families that may want to use it. So excited for all those that will wind up receiving that approval letter, but hope that we are using it wisely and making, really making use of those seats, and not losing sight that others may have interest. The only way that they can do it is if folks either approve or decline. So don't accept a seat, in other words, if we're not going to use it. Upcoming events, recent and upcoming events. We just held a few of them that are not on here. We just adjusted this slide, but we had a few events that had just come and gone from Marble Health, as well as Child Mind Institute, who have been supporting social emotional learning sessions for our families. I do encourage you; those are on our events page as well. Really great opportunity if you need some support with your child's behavior. They give really amazing suggestions and strategies to help our parents at home. We do have our next in that series is helping your child develop friendships. I know that it's always on our minds as parents. Me having a 9th grader and an 11th grader, always concerned about making sure that our kids do have that group, or that one person that they know that they can rely on as a friend. And sometimes it can be challenging for our kids, especially as they get older and they go from elementary into middle, and new groups of kids around them. So it's a great way to connect with our families. I encourage you to hop on and join if you're available. Those sessions that we've been offering have been really, really great. I've been getting great feedback from those that attend. So if you are available, I encourage you to join. And our final session with Beth and Liz from our team around fractions, proportions, and ratios will be held on April 29th. So I encourage you to attend that as well. Give you a little bit of context around some of the most important math that occurs for our kids inside of those fractions, those proportions and ratios, areas where our kids tend to struggle. And this gives you a little bit of a wide range of how we start in kindergarten all the way through the 8th grade. So I encourage you guys to be there for that too. Our second annual Wellness Day will be held on Saturday, May 2nd, in collaboration with Common Point Queens and the CEC. We're holding this event. We'll also be utilizing PS 169 and Bell Academy. We'll be using their space. There'll be a range of organizations that are present there to promote physical health, mental health, mindfulness. There'll be organizations there that will allow our families to tap into some resources maybe they didn't think they had access to before. So we are inviting as many families as possible to join. Last year we had 300 tickets that were sold. Unfortunately, not everyone wound up using those tickets. So we're hoping that we have a much bigger turnout this year, and looking really forward to collaborating with our Community Education Council moving forward. So this is something I do need everyone to kind of connect with and provide feedback on. There's a link. Louis, could you put the link to the site for parents, the site for them to see the updated information from the chancellor?
Yeah,
on
there's
AI?
it's on the next slide.
Oh, okay, perfect. So what we're asking all of our families to do is tap into what the current state is of AI guidance from the central team. There's a family-facing letter as well as a series of kind of bullet points that our central team is working on to support artificial intelligence and what it looks like inside of our schools. What they classify as their traffic light system, what is a green light, what's a yellow light, and what's a red light. And they're asking for feedback. So what I would like to do is give you guys this information. I ask that when you come back in April, that we take a little bit of time out of my intro, out of my presentation, for you guys to tap into that survey, really look over the resources, and then give our chancellor as well as our central team additional feedback to support their final guidance to all of our schools. So this is an important space. As you guys know, AI is here and it's around us every single day. And we need to make sure that we're using it as effectively and efficiently as possible to support our kids, but also to be mindful of the dangers that exist, with the ineffective use of said tools. So we do want to make sure that you have a voice inside of this space. I will be presenting at the upcoming CEC just around some bullet points from the central team. But this is just giving you to you guys ahead of time so that you can use that time and space between now and the next meeting to add some of that feedback to the survey. So please do so. The resources are here. When you click on the school's link, it's going to bring you to this page with our starting points, with what it is and what it's not. I think that's really important. Sometimes we hear so much information about AI that we're not really clear on what the tools are. But a whole bunch of information I do ask you to review as parents and share that feedback with us using that link that was on the previous page. We also talked last month, which I'm not going to go into now just because it is a lot to do in one visit, but I will revisit the guide to MTSS that we reviewed with our CEC during last month's meeting. This is here too for your review. Really important information here around what MTSS is and what it means for our families. Like I said, I'm not going to go into depth with it today. I just wanted to show you that it is here to give you a little bit of clarity about what's available inside of our schools, particularly for children that are struggling as readers, mathematicians, and social emotional learning. And then quickly, a goal follow-up. What we have done, just so that everyone knows, we created a new survey for our kids to capture some of their social emotional learning needs. We made it much more user friendly. We have options to change languages. We have options for it to be read to our kids. This is not intended to be a reading test. We really want to get their perceptions around how they're feeling in school. Little drop downs with confetti you can see. If there's a disagreement, we allow them to keep going. And you'll notice here that when we go too fast, it'll ask our kids to slow down and take their time so that we're getting as accurate of information as we possibly can. And what we've noticed thus far, and I'll have a deeper analysis for you in April, is that the outcomes from our kids are improving from where they were in the fall to where they are now. In some cases, upwards of 20+% difference in our students' perceptions, which says that the things that we're doing to build relationships is having a positive impact. I do think there's a tremendous amount more work that we have to do, but we are seeing some fruits of that inside of our student feedback from the fall to the winter. Community agreements have improved in terms of what our students think about them. Connection before content has improved significantly. The building of relationships has changed from the fall to the winter. So we are on a positive track in terms of student perception. What we will be doing is using this data to pinpoint specific questions that our kids are struggling with, and then encouraging our schools to make positive changes at the school level. In mathematics, something I didn't share with you during our last session that I wanted to highlight was our children that are preparing to take the Regents. The two components that we're looking to see at the highest rate are the high and high average performance rates for our kids. They have sustained the status from where we were in 24-25 to 25-26, with the exception to more kids performing at the high range, which is what we want to see, and fewer children performing at the low range, also what we want to see. So our schools have this information, and they are working to ensure that as many of our kids as possible are prepared for and ready to take that Regents exam in June. We are asking for more of our families to complete our survey as well as the city survey. So mine is important, the city survey even more important. So please make sure that you're messaging out to your community to complete both. It does give us really important feedback, and what we do know and what we will change for next year is not administering them at the same time. We know we have to make that change, and we will going into next year. But I encourage you to please make sure your families know to do that moving in, between now and the next couple of weeks. And the last thing that I do want to share, and I'll speak more on this next month, but New York State is pushing something called the Portrait of a Graduate. The Portrait of a Graduate is around these 6 elements: that our kids are academically prepared, that they're becoming creative innovators, critical thinkers, effective communicators, global citizens, and reflective and future focused. So what this ultimately means is that there's going to be a change for our current kids, particularly our children in 5th grade. There'll be a change in terms of diplomas. Right now, there are 3 diplomas. They will be shifting to 1 diploma for all learners. Not all children will be expected to complete and take the Regents exam. Those will become an optional space for our kids. All the Regents coursework will be expected, but completing the exam will not. So there will be more to follow on this. I share this with you just for a space of information, and we will come back to this as well. So there's a lot of stuff for us to cover in April, May, and June. But I wanted to just kind of front load some of these things for you so that you had your eyes on it before we started discussing. And that will conclude my presentation for you tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Mike. I know you
My
have to
pleasure.
come on to the 6 o'clock meeting. So I have 3 minutes to finalize my.
I have to also, Jenny, just so you know.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through my slide, okay? I can do it in 3 minutes.
And if anyone needs anything from me, please let me know. But I'm going to hop off right now to hop into the other meeting.
All right. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you,
Mike,
guys.
always for being here and supporting us and Mr. Saren too. Okay, thank you all. We're gonna go back to my slide, to our DPAC slide. So thank you. We approved the meeting minutes for February. Thank you, Louis, for introducing us to Google Forms and showing us on how to create Google Forms. Does anyone have questions about Google Forms? Please feel free to reach out to me and Louis and Jessica. We are here to support you. So our Title I PAC members, again, we have Crystal Gonzalez. She's the DPAC chairperson. Jamie Wong is the alternate, and our secretary is vacant. So if anyone is interested in running for the secretary for DPAC, please let us know. The role of the secretary is to prepare meeting notice, agendas, and sign-in sheets, and record the meetings at all, and recording the minutes at all meetings. During the City PAC, the updates they were giving out was around iPlan portal and NYC school survey. So iPlan portal, if anyone here is not aware what iPlan portal is the platform where all the Title I schools have to upload their any related items to Title I. It could be the Title I election, it could be the parent information, and the monthly PAC meetings that we are having at the school level. School must upload the meeting flyer, meeting agenda, the attendance, and any materials that you might share during the PAC meeting at the school level. So that's the iPlan portal. It would be closed on April 1st, which is tomorrow, for a temporary maintenance. They will open up sometimes around the April spring break. So for now, we are asking all schools to upload anything that's open from September up to March. So if you are having your monthly DPAC meetings, make sure you share your meeting materials with either the parent coordinator or anyone that's designated to upload these materials to the iPlan portal. Please work closely with that person so that person can upload these information into the iPlan portal before it closes. Okay, thank you so much. And then they also share the updates around NYC school survey. It's the green survey that every families are getting around this time with the green envelope. So the survey deadline has been extended, by the way, from April 1st to April 17th. So we have 17 more days to complete the survey if you haven't done it yet. So what is the NYC school survey? So NYC school survey gets sent out to DOE families, DOE teachers and staff, and students from 6 to 12. They are asked to complete this annual school survey. So what families are asked about? So families are asked about the communication with families, relationship between the families and the teachers, school leadership and school climate, safety and respect at school, family involvement in school, and satisfaction with your child's education. Why your voice matters? So with your voice, it helps us understand families' experience at the school, improve communication with families, support students' learning and well-being, strengthen school climate and safety, and plan improvements for the future. So is the family survey confidential? The family survey is confidential but not anonymous. So that means school will know which families have submitted the school survey, but they will not know the responses that you put in the survey. So again, it's confidential but not anonymous. There's 3 ways to complete the survey. You can use the prepaid envelope that comes with the green envelope to mail in the survey. You can log into your Nexa account, which is the NYC Schools account, and complete the survey via your Nexa account, or you can log in online via nycschoolsurvey.org. And if you log in online, you will need your child's OSIS number, the 9-digit OSIS number, and put a lowercase f in front of the OSIS number to complete the survey online. So there's 3 ways to complete the survey. It continues. I already mentioned this. So DOE is asking all families to complete the survey for each child in their family. We understand if you are a family of multiple children, if you have 5 children, I mean, we are so overwhelmed every day with our own life and jobs. No one has time to complete 5 surveys. We totally understand. So we're asking and suggesting everyone just do as many as you can, 1 and 2. But it's not mandated to complete everyone, but we're just suggesting families to do as many as you can. And you by the end of this month, I believe the result will be released on the Panorama NYC Schools website. It will show you how family responded. Again, is confidential, so you can't see who submitted what, but you can see the responses. Again, I will list this Title I funding expenditures, what the money can be spent at and what the money cannot be spent at. In case you are looking for this, I don't want you to go through all the slides to see where you can find it. In this case, we're just gonna list them for every month. Title I schools, we have 26 Title I schools in total at District 25 out of 36 schools under the jurisdictions of Dr. Dantona. And we're gonna keep expanding this list, hopefully, and keep exploring new vendors. If you guys have any vendors in mind that you feel will benefit other schools, please share those vendors with us, and we'd be happy to, schedule the meeting with them and see what they offer and have them attend our DPAC meetings. Upcoming meetings. Our next DPAC meeting will take place on Wednesday, April 29 at 5 o'clock, same link, same time, but April 29. So please join us again. And President's Council meeting, the next will be Monday, April 20. This is the meeting where all our parent leaders from our PAPTA attend to learn, to get the updates and turnkey to their school community. CEC meeting, the next CEC meeting is Wednesday, April 15. This is an in-person meeting, so all members must attend in person to meet quorum, but there's a hybrid link for you to listen in if you are interested in listening in. That can be found on our D25 website as well. I'm gonna stop sharing. So again, during our DPAC monthly meetings, we try our best to invite different vendors or to share resources that's pertaining to your role so we can better support you in your needs. So if you have anything in mind that we haven't shared, please let us know so we can plan ahead and schedule that for our future meetings. Does anyone have any questions?
I actually have, it's not so much a question. So my principal emailed Yelena to check if our Title I event was approved.
Okay.
And so Yelena responded back that it was approved, but she suggested to the principal that our schools should do more than one workshop.
Okay.
But she doesn't understand that our school is small and our Title I funding only fits one thing for the year. So every year we only do one Title I event because that's all our money fits.
So I will ask Yelena what suggestions she has in mind. Like, does she want some fundings to go through, for parent workshop towards math or technology or SEL, which is, Yelena should be the direct point person for your principal. For suggestions. I don't know how much money the funding your school received and what the funding has been used at, but Yelena is definitely the point person. Do you want me to connect Yelena with your school principal or?
No, they're already in touch.
Okay. But if Yelena has some suggestions, but you don't know who to reach out, let us know. We can definitely support you with some vendors that are vetted and used, in the DOE before, so we can, so we feel safe having them coming in.
Sounds good. Thank you.
We can support you with that. No problem, Gladys. Does anyone else have any questions?
Hi, Jenny. This is Alice from Minus 25.
Hi, Alice.
Hi. Yeah, we had a question about what I heard that we heard that inflatables are no longer allowed for some of the events or something. Is that true?
No, that was already addressed, Alice. I think we're good.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yes, I don't mind. We addressed it in an email. There was a long email thread. If someone can send forward that email to Alice, that would be great. Otherwise, contact me tomorrow and I will forward you the information.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No problem. Does anyone have questions? If not, then we're gonna get the motions to adjourn our meeting. Can we get someone to motion to approve adjourning the meeting?
Approve to adjourn.
I got
Angela.
this.
And
Angela.
I think
Thank you,
Alice.
Angela. And
And
Alice.
Cindy.
Cindy.
And
Oh, sorry,
Cindy.
Cindy.
Oh,
That's
thank
okay.
you. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Alice. Thank you, Angela. And the meeting is officially adjourned at 6:08. And we will see you on April 29th.
Enjoy the break, everyone.
You too.
Have a
Be
good
safe
night,
this
everybody.
week.
Thank you,
Enjoy the break.
everyone.
Have a good night.
Good night. Stay safe. Thank you, Arati. Thank you, Jamie. So,
Good night, Jenny.
Thank you. Good
good
night.
night. Okay, thank you, Jamie. We're gonna log off now. We're gonna jump to the other meeting to join Superintendent Dr. Mike, okay? Bye-bye. Oh,
All right, Jenny. Yeah, we're gonna go hop on. All right.
bye-bye. Yeah.
Bye.
See you.